So how much of a shock was it for you that they lost at home to Blackburn last night?
Yeah, it was. I guess it was a shock because they're a Premier League side. But you look at Leicester's form. Was it a great surprise? You'd probably say not. Obviously, got beat last night. Got beat by Arsenal. No shame in that. Getting absolutely smashed by your mob 3-0. After the back of two good results, beating Villa and beating Spurs. I thought, right, they've turned a corner. But yeah, but again, it's Leicester. They've got to stand the Premier League. I think they will. I think they've got good enough players. But it's one of them where this is not good enough for Leicester City Football Club. I think Leicester, since they've won the Premier League, I think they've been brilliant. You look at since Brendan came in, right? So they've won. They came 9th. Then they were 5th twice in a row. I know.
Remember that.
They probably should have finished in the Champions League, at least one of those.
They should have done, yeah.
Right, and the 8th, and now they're 14th.
And just 3 points from the drop zone as well. That's the concern for Leicester.
And they've also won the FA Cup in that period. So it's a lot's gone on at that football club, though. You look at some of the players that have left, people like Kasper Schmeichel, Leader. You look at the
By the way, sorry, I don't think enough is spoken about him departing the club because they didn't replace him. I think Danny Ward was his replacement. He's not been that great. They played Iverson last night.
Yeah. No, so I think that's a big miss. You look at the likes of they bought in Vestergaard and Bertrand to be a bit of experience in the dressing room. That hasn't worked. I think they've played maybe 10 games between them. You look at Jamie Vardy. Now we know if you look at Jamie Vardy since he's been at Leicester, he has been what you call he's a Premier League legend. You'd have to say he's a legend, right? Jamie Vardy, he is what he's done.
Yeah.
Since
I can't really. Yeah.
This has been his run right up until this point. 24. 13 when he missed a lot of games, 20, 18, 23, 15 last season when he only played 25 games.
Yeah, frightening numbers.
Frightening. Now, he's got 1 goal this season. Now,
he's lost pace, hasn't he?
He's lost a bit of pace, he's lost that burst. And I think if he'd have been scoring at the rate that he had been in previous seasons, Leicester are probably mid-table now. His goals have probably got the mid-table, but at the minute, it's just not working. But I do like Brendan. I think he's a good manager.
I think they'll survive this season, but I think next season they'll have problems. Tillemans is going to go. I think Maddison will go. Vardy, you just mentioned, he can't keep doing it.
No.
So I'd worry if I was a Leicester fan if they stay or don't stay with Brendan Rodgers. It's very bizarre. I can't put my finger on what I think's best for the club, whether or not he stays and he's too good for them. Or he's not good enough for them. Does that make sense? I can't think of any other manager I'd say that about.
I'm not going to say that he's too good for them or that he's not good enough because he is good enough. I just think, like anything, managers become stale. Like the supporters and the players get tired of listening to the manager.
Yeah.
And Brendan Rodgers gets tired of being in that environment. And I think they just both need a clean break. Now that doesn't mean Brendan isn't good enough or that he's not good enough. I just think at times a change.
They've both reached their
maximum, and he's been there a long time, but. This season, I think most people, you always go, right, when you're in a relegation battle, the most important thing is your home form. Their home form has been woeful. They're second from bottom. The only team that's got a worse home record than them is Southampton.
Yeah, that's awful.
So that's got to change. I don't think they'll go down, but that's got to improve.
I don't think they will as well. But let me ask you this. If he were to go, I want to get your views on what type of manager he is. Name some clubs that you think he could manage, irrelevant of where the club is at the moment and if they haven't got a new manager recently. Don't say, like, for argument's sake, don't say, I won't say Palace because Vieira's not been there that long.
No, of course, yeah.
So what's his level? If he were to leave Leicester, what's his level?
I think he's a good manager. I think he's probably been scarred a little bit from the Liverpool debacle when they were winning that and then all of a sudden it just fell to pieces. I can see him at Tottenham.
Okay.
I think he can manage
Tottenham's
Spurs.
a step up from Leicester?
Yeah, you'd say.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah.
I think he could do Tottenham. I think he could do...
West Ham?
Yeah, but I'm not sure about the step up.
Yeah, it's
That's almost like a sideways. But then I guess if they sell Declan Rice and they get a load of money, the project might be quite exciting. But he could go to Tottenham. I think he could go to... I know Eddie Howe's doing a phenomenal job, but I don't think that job would be too big for him. Newcastle,
right?
I think he could do a good job there.
If for argument's sake, Pep decided to leave, because there was talk about 2 or 3 years ago, he was going to be the replacement. Is that too big a job now for Brendan Rodgers?
You know what? As you said, a couple of years ago, I probably would have gone with because the football that Brendan plays. His teams always have an identity, and I've always enjoyed watching them play. I think a couple of years ago, yes, I think Manchester City. I could see that the way that he plays, the way that they play. But almost the way it's gone at Leicester and the way that it's almost like it's just in freefall, I don't think he gets near that job now.
Last one, your club, Arsenal, if Arteta went tomorrow.
Would I be happy with Brendan? Yeah, I'd take Brendan.
Okay.
Because I know he plays good football.
So we are talking majority, we're talking big clubs.
And do you know what? Usually when he goes to a new club, it gets off to an unbelievable start.
Yeah.
It always starts really well. So it's the way it finishes.
Okay.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.